Rotate device back. What is locked? Rotate the device back. Oh. So go over Eric Erickson. Psychological stages. Eric Erickson. From 0 year is trust versus mistrust. The virtue is hope. The description is trust that basic needs such as nourishment and affection will be met. That's from 0 to 1 year. Trust versus mistrust. Early childhood, 1 to 3 years old. That's your autonomy versus shame and doubt. Your autonomy versus shame and doubt. This is Eric Erickson, psychosocial stages. Okay. We've did trust versus mistrust, 0 to 1 year. Autonomy versus shame and doubt. That's 1 to 3 years old. Initiative versus guilt. That's your 3 to 6 year old. Taking the initiative on some activities may develop guilt when unsuccessful or boundaries are overstepped. And I think this is the one that give the example of the child helping the mother out and broke the dishes. So this is your 3 to 6 year old. Initiative versus guilt. School age. This is going to be your industry versus inferiority. This when they start more than likely taking what they want to do in life more serious. That's when they develop self-confidence and abilities. When competent or sense of inferiority and not. When they don't have like the confidence in. If I know I can't play basketball, guess what? I'm not going to have the confidence. So that's going to be your 7 to 11 years old. And that is your industry versus inferiority. Okay. Next one is identity versus confusion. That's your adolescent years. So 12 to 18 years of age. 12 to 18 years of age. Oh, I had some top fan. Oh, let me see. I don't know what's going on with this. Oh, well, we're just going to sit, aren't we? Is that okay? Let's see. I hate that. Got to fool around with the camera. Alrighty. I guess we got to go with this. So let's go back to the school age years, 7 to 11. That's your industry versus inferiority. That's when they're developing self-confidence, abilities, when competency or sense of inferiority, when not. Then we got the adolescence for 12 to 18. That's your identity versus fusion. 12 to 18, identity versus confusion. That's the experiment and develop identity. And then we have intimacy versus isolation. That's your early adulthood, right? 19 to 29 years old. 19 to 29 years old. That's your intimacy versus isolation. That means the description of that is that's your love, and it established intimacy and relationship with others. Then we got generativity versus stagnation. That's going to be your middle age years. That's going to be your 30 to 64. 30 to 64. That's when that caring is going to come about. What's my contribution to society and being a part of a family? What's my contribution to society, being part of a family? That is your generativity versus stagnation. That's your 30 years old to 64 years old. Then the last one, integrity versus despair. That's where your wisdom comes in. And that's your 65 and up, 65 and onward. Test and make sense of life and meaning of contributions. Trust versus mistrust is the first stage in Erik Erikson's psychosocial development. This stage begins at birth and continues approximately 18 months of age. That's your trust versus mistrust. During this stage, uncertain about the world and in which they live, and looks toward the primary caregiver for stability and consistency of care. Trust. If the caregiver is consistent and nurturing, the child will develop a sense of trust, believing that the world is safe and that people are dependable and affectionate. So let's look at Erik Erikson's psychosocial stages. We got trust versus mistrust. We have autonomy versus shame, and then we have initiative versus guilt, industry versus inferiority, identity versus confusion, intimacy versus isolation, generativity versus stagnation, and integrity versus despair. Those are your Erik Erikson psychosocial stages of development. I am Char J, your fabulous therapist of Cultivating Minds Counseling Group, where we get to the root of the problem one session at a time. Now, I'm here to help anybody that is looking for just some extra help to study for the National Counselor exam. If you should have any questions, please let me know. A 49-second short was uploaded to your channel. I guess so. At least 1 minute of content is needed to create a short. Oh, 1 minute of content. Okay. Alrighty, 1 minute. Let's see. I want to make sure I am recording. Okay, light on. What is this? Oh, okay. Keep current selection. Select more photos. I am so sorry about that. So let's see. I could do that. Okay. Look at that. Alrighty.